Hello everybody, it's the Farm Sim guy here, and yeah, we are in the middle of rural Tennessee. We're in Bulls Gap actually, and there's a bit of a story behind this. We were working away on deer country and we got a strange letter through the post. I didn't even know I had an Uncle Ambrose, but apparently he lived down here in Tennessee and he's left me something in his will. Now he's passed away. So I've headed down here to find out what's what. And by all accounts, if I head to the end of this road here, we will find what was in the letter that he sent. So here we are. This looks like the shed that was in the rather grainy picture in the letter. There's a couple of other buildings over there. A hut, looks like a workshop, a toilet, and a log grinder. You know what we've got ourselves here, guys? We've got ourselves a survival challenge. No money in the bank. We own this piece of land down in the bottom corner, which is a forest and a forest only. We have no equipment. We do have a chainsaw, and we do have the lumberjack mod installed. In here, we have a gator, a rather beaten up old gator, which will come in handy. But other than that, we have got nothing. Now, one thing I am going to commit to here is not using super strength, so I'm not going to be able to lug huge trees by hand. We're going to have to cut everything so it fits in the gator and is able to be handled by myself. Not allowed to rent machinery. We can only buy machinery. We do have the use machinery mod installed. But other than that, it's going to be a race to see how much money we can make and how far we can progress this. So, if that sounds like fun, let's get stuck into it. Oh, sorry. Is that the intro already done? Beg your pardon. Don't mind me. I was just finishing off in there. Apologies. Right. What do we need to do? We kind of don't have much of an option, do we? I think what we need to do is start to clear some ground. Now, there is a bit of a selection of trees in here, and I think probably the best thing to do is start to clear some and make a little bit of space. I don't know what we're going to do first. I have no real plans for this yet, so what I thought I would do was just to start with, just see how much money we can make from a few trees, because to be honest, field prices here aren't that cheap. I mean, there's 16, but it doesn't just give you 16, it gives you that whole space. Field 3 is, £500,000. Field 8, 69,000 there. So that could be an option. That's interesting. That's achievable. Even some of the other small fields up here, they're part of bigger groups. So we've got a challenge on our hands here. We've got a challenge on our hands. So with that in mind, I think 8 is probably the only field we can afford. Then followed by 9 maybe. But that's a long way off. I think our best bet is to probably create fields in here and start to make some money that way. So, I guess there's not much else to do other than to fire open the chainsaw and see how we get on. So, let's see how we go. Now, I am using the lumberjack mod, which means that I can remove stumps, which is, I think, that's fair enough, don't you? But we do not have the option to move big trees like this, so everything will need to be cut into small logs, which I know will reduce the amount of money we'll get for things, but it's not a survival challenge if it's easy, is it? So there we go. Let's get these last few bits. This lumberjack mod is brilliant, by the way. If you haven't already used it, it's really, really good. I'm just going to cut this other tree down because That thing appears to have got caught on it. There we go. Now, like I said, if it's too big to move, we... oh, I completely disobeyed. If it's too big to move, we cannot use super strength. We've got to move it by hand. So, all of this stuff here, as long as it's carryable, it's fine. So let's get the Gator. Let's run this over there. Let's at least give ourselves a little bit of a help, shall we? Just like to point out the Farm Sim logo on the front there, which is a rather nice touch. And let's load some of these up. This is not going to be elegant. So if you came here for interesting, slick content, I'm not your man. Would have made a little bit of an effort to line them up. Might have fitted a few more in there. Let's see if we can fit this whole tree in, shall we? But this is going to be a long haul one. It's interesting, I saw Daggerwin had started a new survival challenge yesterday as well. So be interesting to see how he goes with his new challenge as well. It's one of my favourite series to watch, to be fair, is Daggerwin's survival challenge on No Man's Land. It's been a real enjoyable series, that. So hopefully I get some fun out of this too. And it is, I get it's completely different to anything I've done before. I have been a bit of a big farm, big machinery kind of guy, money no object. So it's going to be interesting. This, I'm looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. Actually, use those in a fire somewhere in the house. Okay, there's probably enough in there for now. Let's just put those straps on. Or that strap. 2 straps is all I've got. And then, the moment of truth. Let's see how arduous this is actually going to be. Now, as well as only having this stump grinder here, there is no place to sell logs on this map. So we don't have the luxury of, as we get more machinery, more money, the ability to do anything more than grind wood. That's all we'll ever have. Threw that in there, didn't it? So this is actually going to be pretty difficult. So we need to really think on our feet about how we're going to be able to make money here. I mean, look, this is making us like 20, 30, 19 bucks a time. So this is going to take a bit of time. We have a princely £140, or 140 whatever you want to call it, to your name. We're going to be here a while. But let's clear some trees. I think the easiest thing to do is chuck this onto a time lapse, and we'll be back shortly.
We would find the time, dreaming for eternity, creating perfect memories. Yeah, we hoped we were gonna make it. Little did I know that time would take us to a place
Well guys, as you can see, this is going to be kind of long and relatively arduous process. Not having super strength on and not being able to shift entire trees is going to be interesting. One of the nice things is I have noticed that pine trees appear to have less weight in them. They're also more expensive than the birch tree. If you saw the first tree that I cut down with all the branches and stuff on it, the silver birch, that was not exactly the most lucrative tree, and also a bit of a pain to cut down. The pine trees are much more accommodating, and also sell for more money. So we've already made ourselves £1,000 here, and I'll show you why that's positive in a minute. We'll just get these last couple of logs off here. Just make sure that goes in there. Yep. I'll show you why that's positive. If we go to the shop here, small tractors, we have got some old Fords, an old Case IH there, a 1630 John Deere as well. And even here, this 4000 series, I think this is probably what we'll start with. £5,500 for an 84 horsepower tractor. So that's factory new as well. If we use second hand, that 4,400. So not out with the realms of possibility. We've got the Minneapolis Moline there as well, 11,000, and the 2x50, that's 85 horsepower. We're using that on Farmersburg at the moment. Brilliant little tractor. So we've got options. We've got options in terms of tools that we're going to need straight away. Plows. Even the 6-meter subsoiler from Lizard there could be 180 horsepower. Though well out of our league. That's for 85 horsepower. So again, we've got to make sure that we can buy kit that matches our tractor horsepower when we get our tractor. But for now, I think our first target is to get enough wood down so we can buy our tractor. We'll also have a look in the some of the mod websites as well, and try and find some other kit that's cheaper. There's the old Massey pack as well, which we potentially could use to start with. It's got plows and things in it. So we've got options available to us. We just need to do a bit of shopping around, I think, and finding good kit. And again, I think that's one of the challenges of this series, which I'll push back to you guys, is let me know. Go on the search for mods and let me know if you find anything that you think will be appropriate and relatively sensibly priced for this series, and we can give it a run. Anybody who gives me a mod that I end up using in the game, I'll give you a shout out if it works. So there you go. This is a bit of a team effort, I think. It's the only way we're going to get through this. And like I said, unlike No Man's Land, where each of the blocks of land was 85,000, which is relatively cheap, we don't have that luxury here. We literally have got potentially one block of land that we can use over and above the bit that we inherited here, which is all forest. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a huge area, but it's completely covered in trees, and if we were to manually clear all of these, we would be doing this for forever. So we've got to find either a way of automating some of the tree work a little bit more, which obviously costs an absolute fortune if we're going to use logging equipment, or we're going to have to get rather creative with how we do things. But for now, we just need to get ourselves on the first rung of the ladder, which is to have some equipment here that we can use. So we'll keep filling up these little trailers here and getting them into the grinder until we've got enough money, which is going to take a while. I won't do it all on camera. You're going to have to trust me. I am not cheating in this game. That's one of the aims I've got, is I don't want to do any cheating at all. We're doing this for the challenge, so we're defeating... The only person we're letting down is ourselves. if we cheat. But equally, I don't want it to be boring for you guys watching. And you don't want to watch like a whole hour of me just cutting trees down. So with that in mind, we'll probably do a little skip forward, and I'll show you what I've cleared and how much money I've made in a few minutes. Having a think. I have this in the shop at the moment. Now we can't afford this. This is 4,800 even second hand, but it has got a 3-point linkage on it. Now I don't know if that 3-point linkage is compatible with the 3-point linkage that we've got for the John Deere Gator. So there we go. In MISC we have got a 3-point lifter, which is £1,000. So I'm just wondering, could we invest in that? We've got the electric spreader seeder. Now it could all go horribly wrong because that linkage may not work. But I'm inclined to give it a go, because that would mean we've got enough for a small planter, a 3-meter width planter at that as well. So that's interesting. We still need to turn the ground under though. So whether or not that is the right thing to do, I don't know. I don't have a small enough plow that works with that setup, so we'd need to find a small plow somewhere as well. But we could probably find one of those in the mod hub. So I just jumped back out and jumped into the mod hub a little while, and we have found ourselves in the Ferguson Trax Pack. We have the 2-furrow plough here, which runs at 20 horsepower, and it's only £170. So with that in mind, we can afford to plough our first field. We will pick up the 3-point lifter. We're not going to have it factory new, we're going to take it second hand. Which is great. Now all I can hope is that these two are compatible, or this could be our first waste of money. And I imagine as we go through the episodes there might be times where we do purchase things that don't work together, but we've got to try stuff. We have got to try stuff. Now okay, that's only 20 horsepower as well. I thought that might be less. So that's why that's 3.5 metre and that's 1.5 metre. I'm going to go for that at 20 horsepower. 3 furrow, 4 furrow. We're going to go second hand as well. Okay. I think we've just bought our first equipment now. We've got to hope that it works. We've still got £1,000 in the bank. But what we need to do now is head to the shop, which is going to be a little bit of a ride anyway, because this only goes 15 miles an hour. So we will see you back here shortly. Well, we'll head to the shop. We'll see you at the shop. Okay, here we are. And there's the kit sitting waiting for us now. Moment of truth. Is this going to work, or do we have to go and get some more logs and get a Massey tractor going? Well, we know this bit will work. Let's hook that up. Now the moment of truth. Will this work, or is this only compatible with the Massey series? Well, I never. I do believe we've got ourselves a very early solution. Now that is exciting. I wasn't expecting that, I'm not going to lie to you. I thought that was going to be a complete disaster. But it does mean we can plough. Which makes me very happy indeed. Now the only problem is, we've got to drive all the way back now. So we will see you back at the farm. I'm not going to put you through the misery of a 50 mile an hour trip back to the farm. Okay, here we are. We are not far from home now. The next thing we're going to have to find out is if a 23 horsepower Gator can pull a 20 horsepower plough. Is there going to be enough left in the tank to be able to actually plough a field? That is going to be interesting. Now, we did clear all the stumps, I do believe, so we should be able to do a little test here. Now what I'm going to do is not go right to the edge here, because I want a little path around the side so we can get through to the trees behind there, because we're obviously going to need those. And we're going to have allow create fields on. I don't believe it. It doesn't even slow down. The thing's a machine. Okay, there are tree stumps everywhere. I'm going to have to clear some of these. But I do believe we've got the most basic of basic solutions available to us, which will allow us to start working the farm very quickly. Let's just move these out of the way so we can at least get things finished here. It's going to be the smallest field ever. But it's a field. We've already got a field in episode 1. We've got a field. Honestly, I thought I was going to spend weeks just chopping trees down. So for us to get to this point already is a huge win. And I tell you what, this little gator, this is awesome. Okay, just working out my boundaries here. I don't want my field to be too big. This is really just a test plot to see how this goes. And if this works, obviously we're going to have to cut down a load more trees, but at least we've got ourselves a bit of a plan. But I will put some crop in here, no question. I don't know what yet, probably grass. Could make some silage early on. Okay, let's get this ploughed anyway. Okay, there we go. Field. Ploughed. How did that happen? Oh, I'm so pleased about that. Okay, let's pop this in the shed, because I'm not sure we're going to need it for a little while, but it's great to know we've got it. The fact that the Gator runs at 15 miles an hour with the plough as well is rather exciting. If maybe slightly unbelievable, but hey, at the moment, we'll take any help we can get. Now, we did say we were going to try and see if the little electric seeder would work. There it is, and we can actually pick up seed on the way home as well. So hopefully this works. If it doesn't, it's going to be a waste of money, but we will give it a go. Why not? Feeling luck's on our side at the moment, so let's give it a bash. And back off up to the shop we go. Okay, here we are, and I am not optimistic about this. I've just seen how small it is, and I don't believe that 3-point is the same size as the 3-point hitch on this, so I am expecting this to be a non-starter. Doesn't even recognise it. Okay, I think hang on a second. No way. No way. Is this gonna work? It's actually connected it to the top one, but not the other ones. Well, our seed purchase point is literally just there, so we'll just pop in there on the way back and see if we can do this. That's going to be insanely exciting if we can do that. We do have to give some real thought to what we're going to buy, or plant at least. We can just buy seed, obviously, but what we're going to plant, because we have no physical way of getting it out of the ground at the moment. So we might be cutting off more than we can chew here. Okay, so the bad news is that it wouldn't recognise the fill point there, which is a little bit of a shame. So what we're going to have to do now is go and get a pallet of seed. Now, I don't think we've got enough money for a pallet of seed, and I can't bring myself to drive all the way back with this. So what I'll do is drop it off here. We can carry some logs over from the forest to the wood chipper, so we will leave him here. We'll work out how much money we need, and we will come back when we've got enough cash. But right now, I'm still astounded that that thing fitted. I really am. So, let's just park him here. Let's find out how much a pallet of seed is. 1,890. That is just a little bit more than I was expecting. Okay. Looks like we're going to cut some more trees down. There is this. A little John Deere trailer. Again, designed for the mower. But it holds 2,500 litres. It's 480. We've got 467, but there are 2 logs back at the farm. We could flog those very quickly and try this. Interesting. Okay, let's try that. Okay, once again, we're nearly back. We will sell those 2 logs and see how much money we get for it. We need 480. I reckon about 30 pounds a log. Oh no. Quite a lot there. 48. There's a second one. Oh, we're very much in the money. Right, let's go and get that trailer. And let's hope that that has a big enough hit point that we can put some seed in it. And then we have the major decision, which I'm going to leave with you guys for the next episode, and that is, what do we plant? Obviously we can't do corn and things like that. It will be crops such as wheat, barley, soybeans, canola. So bear that in mind. It's not a planter, it is a seeder. That's the first question, and we're going to do this at the end of every episode. We're going to allow the viewers to have their say as to what we do next, and possibly we'll put a vote up each week in the community tab to hear and see which one gets the most votes. So that should make things interesting. Right, let's hope this hooks up. It does. Slightly oddly, I'm not sure it's supposed to work like it does, but to be honest, at the moment beggars can't be choosers. So let's go and see if this works in the seed fill point. If it does, we're onto something. If it doesn't, we're cutting down some more trees. So there we go guys, we're under the auger and we can do it. I mean, it's literally given us 2%, it's given us 70 seed, we are out of money, in fact -2 money. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave that there I think. Just reverse up a little bit. I'm going to leave that there. We are going to cut down a few more trees so we can get a full trailer load, and then we will come back and collect that trailer. But for now, I think we'll call it there for that episode. This has been a whole heap of fun and exploration, and I'm really pleased how it's gone so far. Honestly, got more done this episode than I was really expecting us to, and I'm really excited for the next one. So, the question we will leave the viewers with is, what do we plant in our first field? And we've got to consider a few things here. We haven't got any equipment to harvest it yet, so I don't know how we're going to get it out of the ground, and how we're going to make the money to get it out of the ground. So what are our options? Also, if you'd like to leave in the comments any recommendations for machinery or vehicles that we can run with very little to no money, that would be very helpful too. And over and above that, I think we will see you back probably next Sunday for episode 2. Keep a lookout in the community section for a vote towards the end of next week, where we will vote on what's the best option to go forward with, and we'll take it from there. But for now, from me, the Farm Sim Guy, this has been Survival at Bull's Gap. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye for now.